Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
hello, family. Hello,
Hi.
one and all.
Hi, I am Colette Allen,
I'm Alfred Allen Sr.
and welcome to Restoring the Brokenness.
Yes. If you're here, you made it to another weekend. That means God has blessed you and everything's all right. And if you're a first time visitor to the show, welcome to the RTB.
Okay, so listen, guys, remember to like and share our show. And also you can subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
So we're gonna start this show. We apologize for our delay. Sorry for the delay, but we're gonna start now. So
Yes.
today's show is actually about looking back. It's looking back, how we started, how the RTB show actually started. So I'm really excited about this. And even if you're not joining us live, you can always come and watch the show afterwards. And remember to share and tell people that we're on. Okay, so before we start, we always start with our disclaimer.
We, the hosts and guests of the Restore the Brokenness group, do not claim to be counselors, therapists, psychologists, or psychiatrists. The information provided are based on our own experience and only intended to inspire, encourage, and uplift you. We advise you to seek professional help when dealing with circumstances beyond your control.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Allen. Okay, this is going to be really fun. Okay, guys, you can comment in the comment section, and we're gonna move on because normally we start at 3:00, but today we had some technical difficulties, and we had this. This is the time that we have to start.
We do apologize.
We do apologize for that. Yeah. So,
but we're here.
All right. So remember to share your show.
Yes.
Let people know that we're on. Last week was really an interesting show. We had some conversations. It was Real Talk, I believe. It was Real Talk, and we were able to bring awareness again about what was going on in Russia. With the war, the Russian and Ukraine war.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is still going on.
Yeah.
You know, so our heart goes out for those, the Ukraine people. Mm-hmm. Usually during a war, it's supposed to be soldiers fighting soldiers, not soldiers fighting soldiers and civilians, Right. It's a terrible thing when civilians are caught up in the circumstances of war because it can be like hell on earth. So we're praying for the Ukrainians, the families, babies, women, men. We're praying for all of them that this conflict will soon be over, and that the Ukrainians will be back to experiencing peace.
How long do you think that this is actually? Because you thought it would be over sooner than that.
Well, Vladimir Putin thought it would be over. He thought it would be over in just a week.
Right.
But the longer the war goes on, it's devastating for him. It is literally a devastating situation for him because not only is his country hurting and his leadership is hurting, he has a lot of explaining to do to the Russians because, he's supposed to always be like triumphant in everything he does, but he's trying to find a way out, and he's not it's not coming sooner for him. So it's every week is it's detrimental for him.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll be done with this war. I just don't like war because so many innocent people die, and it's just a devastating time. Okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, so let's talk about the RTB.
The RTB.
Our beginnings.
Wow, you want to go?
How did we get to that slide, please? Our beginnings. Okay. So our beginnings. Oh my gosh, and we're coming up on 2 years.
Are we?
Yeah, I mean, it really went fast.
Yes.
So but listen, so I kind of want to, I don't really know. I just want to get through this because I really want to bring one of our guests, which is really not a guest on the show, but I want to bring him on anyway. Because when this originally started, it was really supposed to be Restoring the Brokenness with Colette Allen. Let's see that. I shouldn't have to let's just see what. Okay, so originally that's the way it started. It was supposed to be Restoring the Brokenness with Colette Allen, and then some things have transpired, and then it was not Colette Allen anymore. Then it was Alfred and Colette. We'll talk more about how Alfred was actually came onto the show. Okay, so before we begin, we want to bring the person that really kind of made this thing happen. He's been on our show. He is our show. He's our tech person. He's been here. He's been on the show several times. And even when he's not physically visible,
right?
He's there because he's going to make.
He's like a brother in arms.
He's going to make people. He's going to let you know he's there. So let's just bring James Buford to the show. Can we bring him out, please? We're waiting on James. He was in the studio earlier, then we had technical difficulties, and so we kind of lost James.
All right, we hope,
but hopefully he'll come back. Can you? All right. So how it began? It actually began with a vision that. Can you please text him to see where he's at? I'm trying to understand what's going on. I hate to start the show, tell you guys how it began without the person that originally is the reason why it began. Does it make sense? Okay, hopefully it does. How it began with James Buford. I call him Bishop. Okay, so the show actually started off as a pilot show, and then it ended up this. So in the midst of my brokenness, I'm just, oh Lord, in the midst of my brokenness, I was thinking, how can I get, how, okay, so I was like, okay, I had the vision about, okay, I was going through a lot of things, and at the time we were in the midst of going through what we were going through with Mom, and I was like, Lord, how am I going to deal with this? And the only way that I know to deal with pain and hurt, frustration, or whatever I'm going through, I normally write. I'm creating characters. I'm trying to figure out a way to really process what I'm going through, and so that I can actually get through it. And normally, I don't know how it always happens this way, but I'm normally going to find myself being there for other people, or being a shoulder to cry on, or listening ear, or just ministering to people, even though I'm hurting myself. So I had started talking a little bit. I think I actually created the Restoring the Brokenness Facebook group, and James picked up on it, and he was like, hey, can I do a pilot? And so I'm like, a pilot? And he began to explain it to me more and more about, what this entails. And he wanted to use me as a, I guess, as a guinea pig, as you would say, until he can kind of learn the system and how it works. And I was like, sure. And so that's what happened. And before I even say more about the beginning of it, I just want to give you all a little background of who James is. He's a pastor. He's my mom's pastor. His dad was my mother's pastor for a number of years, and then James became my mother's pastor. Been knowing James even before he was even out of high school. I think he was playing the keyboard for the church, and I would go and visit, and he's there quietly. I didn't even know can really talk because he was just so quiet, shy. And so when he became my mother's pastor, that's when I kind of started to get to know a little bit more about who James was. And so he's a pastor of the church. It's called Revealed Church. If you can please bring that slide up. Pastor of Revealed Church. He's a program director at WGLB AM 1560 96/96.1 FM. Back in the day, we used to say I used to hear them say on your FM dial.
Right.
So I kind of like want to say that, but that's not what it is, I guess. So we're going to go back to that, please. He's a host of Sunday morning on WGLB. He's on there from 7 a.m. to 10 o'clock a.m. Oh yeah. He's the owner of Bufusions Marketing and Designs. And James has done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work with James. The first project that we worked together when I did Brokenness in a Strange Place, a play that I did at Washington High School a number of years ago. He actually videotaped it. I think it was him. I don't know. He's done a lot of stuff. So it's hard for me to keep up with exactly what he did.
I think he did.
I think he did.
Yes, he did.
I almost believe that he did. And then he designed a couple of projects for me. But before, we're going to bring James on. Okay, James. We're going to, hey, James.
Wait a minute. I can't hear nothing y'all saying. Hold on.
What?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Now we can't hear you. You can't hear us? Hello?
Hold on. Let me try.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. I'm good.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I hope everyone else can hear us. We wasn't just talking and that whole volume thing with me.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping that people can hear us.
Right.
Nice to see you, brother.
Oh, nice to see you all as well.
Wonderful. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
It's really, okay, so we were talking about how, can you center us, please?
Yeah, not center.
You got to get us both in, please. Okay, AJ. Okay, so as you see, we're. Thank you. So
there
now
it is.
Here we are. We have Khalif running the show, so we have to be patient with the 12-year-old.
He's doing a wonderful job.
He's doing. Yes, he is. So James.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking about how the show started. I don't know if you can remember back that far back because you were, you kind of got a little older since that time.
Wow. See, there we go. Already. Start off the show like this.
I don't know what change is either.
You already know what's coming. So I had them. I got all the things I'm gonna say to you right here on the side. So I won't forget anything.
Already.
So James, we were talking about how we started off. How I started off with the Facebook page, and you said, "Hey, let's do a pilot." Do you recall that conversation?
I do. I was driving back from coming to see your mom, my church mother. And we had a conversation in the car, and you were telling me about what you wanted to do. And I said, well, let's, I do a little bit of hosting. I've learned something during the pandemic. It really taught me a lot about streaming and things of that nature. And so that's where the conversation started, coming back from driving 8 hours back from Nashville, Tennessee. And that's where the conversation started.
Okay.
Sure did.
And so it started off like a pilot. And do you remember the first show though, James? Can you remember that?
I do remember. I do remember a little bit. You were so nervous.
Oh, wait a minute! Wasn't I in the car though? Like I was on my way back from seeing Mom, and I was stuck in a rain, some type of weird place.
Yeah,
we was trying to get home,
and it was pouring down.
It was pouring down, and you guys couldn't, you couldn't get on because it was a bad connection. So we did the first show, and you were so nervous. You did the first show. You was trying to do it by yourself. And I was right there with you, and it was raining. It was pouring down, and we just elected him to be on the show at that moment.
That is exactly what happened.
That's exactly
We're
what
like,
happened.
Al, you're gonna have to be on this show because there's no way I'm gonna pull this off by myself in a rainstorm.
Right. And
That is
I did the best I could.
Hey, you did a fabulous job, and that's why I was like, man, you're a natural. You should do it with, do it with your wife, and that's how it all started.
And that gave me confidence.
Yeah,
hearing that from you, my brother. Colette was telling me, but I thought she was just being biased.
Right, I get it.
But when I heard it from you, I'd say, well, I'll hang in there then.
Yeah,
I'll give it another week.
Yeah, and here we are, 2 years later.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I definitely, and I was telling them that we call you. I said his name is James Buford, but AKA Bishop. That's what he is. So
absolutely.
So now that you're on here, can you just share with us like what your thoughts about the show from the beginning to now? Have you seen growth? I mean, of course, this area that we can grow, but I mean, do you see the vision actually come into play, or do we have a ways to go?
I hate the show. I'm just kidding.
That is awesome. Okay. I'm like, what?
That's James.
Okay. I got you.
You're gonna get you back for that, brother.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna pay for it. I always pay for it.
I picked up my pen. I picked my pen up. I got him. We hate the show. Okay.
Oh man, I know I'm gonna pay for it. But no, I love what the show. I remember the first slide. I remember the first show. We did a lot of work behind the scenes trying to get together, and I do see the growth in it. I mean, at first it started out, looking one way. I believe in the next year we changed up the background and how that looked, and then you got the backdrop. My brother Al, he got the backdrop, and it just began to. You can just see the show just begin to evolve and to grow into. I believe that it's going to be. I believe it's going to be a major streaming show that people will be able to get good information from and have a good conversation. And I do see the growth in the numbers because I do see that behind the scenes. And so I know people are taking note. People are taking, they're watching. And so from where it came with nobody watching, right? Not knowing where it's going to be, to being consistent in 2 years, and now you have streamers, you have people that's watching, people that's connecting, and so there has been growth with the show, and I love the topics. I love you all's interaction. We don't have a lot of married couples that interact on streaming positive information, and this is the beauty of the internet and what it's allowed us to do. And so yeah, I love it. I love the show. I do. I don't hate it. I'll just play.
There we go. Wow. And I'm so looking forward to where it's going. Like, absolutely. I do see conferences and everything, like even materials that will be available for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're working with a distributor. He's kind of delayed in his response, but we're gonna get it together. We are moving forward. We're moving forward. So I'm looking forward to just everything. I'm so excited. Yes. First of all, because my husband has always been a shy guy, and it's just amazing how much he has grown. I mean, James, you really called it right, because you were like, your husband can bring male viewers and a different perspective, and I do see that.
Yeah.
I do see that. So this is awesome. Like he's ready for the show more so than I am, on Saturdays. He's like ready to go. And I'm like, I'm just getting there. So I see the growth in him.
When he bought the background and he bought, the other stuff that he invested into it, I said, oh yeah, he's in.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate it. And then he started playing harmonica and he started doing those things. I'm like, oh man, this guy's in. Yeah, we're good now.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. I try to back her up. I see her vision, and it's become a part of my vision as well. And I got to put that shyness aside. I try to put that behind me. So just for the sake of prosperity, being able to move ahead and being able to help someone else. I figure if I play the harmonica, maybe someone likes, the sound of that. Maybe that draw people in. I figure I'll try to play that as long as I can. I'm kind of running out of songs, but I'll I'm all in. Whatever it takes, I'm all in.
Okay, so I think we lost James, but thank you, because James was in this car. So,
and he's a very busy man.
We love him, and thank you, James, for coming. That was really that's your type of exit. So we are definitely used to that. So.
Yeah, when he said he hates the show, I started.
I just figured, that's just the way he does things. So, okay. So James kind of gave a little bit of our business. Like, he really didn't have to tell everything, because that was a part of our show.
Oh, well, we could just.
The next question was, who designed the RTB logo? Do you guys know what the logo is? I wish, well, why don't we show the logo? Okay. The logo, you guys, that is our logo. I know you guys actually thought it was the two chairs, and that's that's our screensaver or whatever. But our logo, which I hope he keeps it on there, this is our logo. Who designed the logo? Okay. Can we go back to the logo? All right. So when you look at the logo, Alfred, can you tell us what's going on here?
I got with a very good friend of ours. His name is Mario Dickens, that owns a business.
Let's go to that slide with Mario.
He owns a business.
Dr. Mario Dickens. Okay, there it is.
He owns He owns Carter's Creation.
No, Mario Creation.
Oh,
it's sorry. Right there. Okay. It's Mario's Creation. I'm sorry, Mario. He owns Mario's Mario's Creation, Mario Dickens Creations.
Go back to the slide, please.
Okay. Oh my! Can you not don't move it? Just keep it right there, please. He owns Mario Dickens Creation, iPrint. He owns iPrint Las Vegas. He's been in business. I know that I said 23 years, but that was last year. This year's 24 years. So I'm just giving a background about Mario. Then you'll talk about how you guys came about. So, okay. So he owns iPrint here, iPrint in Vegas. His office is downtown in Milwaukee on East Mason Street. He's in suite 100. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Mario, because I've been knowing Mario since he was a little young boy.
Man.
He was a boy.
Young boy.
Mario started his business. He was he had to been a teenager. Yeah. He was helping his parents. If you can come back to me, please. He was helping his parents with the church programs and different funerals and different things like that. And
bring it back to us,
I just remember him being so productive in that. And then this is what 23, 24, almost 25 years later, he has his own businesses. So watching him as a young teenager help his parents with programs, he does funerals, he does everything. Wow. And he's done banners for me. And then Al can tell you guys more about how what his interaction with Mario, because it was a surprise for me. So of course I didn't know.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted it to be, a surprise for you. As a matter of fact, it was a Christmas prize, and we do have the video someplace. But I got with Mario, and I said she still want to kind of keep the heart separation, let's get rid of the Band-Aid if we can. And she loves the color purple. So we tried to work with what I was trying to mime at, what was in my mind as what we wanted to put down. So he came up with a few things, and then I said, whatever way you do it, I kind of want the heart to be separated. So that's where the white line kind of works its way down through the heart. But then in the middle, Mario came up with the lady in the inside of it.
Can we can we see that logo so everyone can see what you're talking about? You said the lady. Okay,
Right.
so that's right in the
picture,
middle.
right. There's a picture that design in the middle of it is a lady.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the can we keep the picture up there, please? And so then what we did was we worked on trying to separate it. So we just put a lightning like white line through it. And when I seen that, I said, that is great. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's the picture. So when you really look at the banner,
can see her hair too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So when you really look at the banner, it also has a picture, an outline of the skyline of Nashville, which is the place where we're really working from. You know, we're a small town outside of Nashville, but if we also have at the bottom of it is restoring the brokenness, and it's a word written over the whole Nashville city, which is a beautiful skyline of Nashville, which is behind us.
Okay.
Yeah. So kudos and props go out to Dr. Mario Dickens.
All right.
For his help. There's no one else I knew that could have done it.
Right.
You know,
right.
and so that's how we came up with the design.
All right. Okay, Mario, he's back. Hi, Tim. Tim says hello. Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Okay. James, you're back. We actually thought that you left because that's really how you leave. So we didn't really think anything of it.
Whoa, there you go again. There you go. No, my battery died. My apologies.
Oh, okay. We were talking about the logo, and Al explained to everyone how that came about and what the logo represents. And yeah, and so you missed that, and we're not going to repeat it. We just figure you'll watch the show again and you'll hear it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
And I'll make comments if it's not accurate.
Okay, that's fine. Also, I know that I also see that you're working for WGLB AM 1560. Is this what am I supposed to say /96 or am I just supposed to say 1560 96?
Well, no, it's AM 1560 FM 96.1. So we're broadcast on two different frequencies. Both AM and FM.
Okay, so is there any way that perhaps you may invite us to the show, or is it just music?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what we can work out. But
all right.
You know, no, but absolutely. I definitely think that your show will be an asset to the lineup of what we try to do on WGLB. We're definitely trying to give good content, good material. And so, yeah, I'm not the final decision maker, but as program director, I can definitely put together a proposal for the management, and we can see where we can go from there.
Okay. All right. So, is there any other questions that you have for James? Because we don't want to hold him up. We know he's a busy guy. He's always doing something. Is there anything you would like for our listening audience to know that you have coming up, or you know?
Well, in April we are supposed to be launching our ministry. As some may or may not know, my father was diagnosed with dementia back in 2014, 15, 16, somewhere in that area. I took over the ministry for him. It was, and your mother was a part of that ministry, and she was my church mother, and she is my church mother still. And we rebranded the ministry, and we'll be relaunching in April 24th of this year. And so we're excited about that, and excited about what God is doing. Anything other than that, I definitely want people to support our RTB, because there's a lot of things that is talked behind the scenes that is coming up that you want to be a part of, and you definitely want to be a part of it, because I think about Wendy Williams and different shows that come on. There's a plethora of them, but you don't get a lot of husband and wife teams. And I think this is a good platform for viewers, and we just need to spread the word and let people know that this is what's going on. Pump it up, tell your friends, share it. I mean, one thing that you can do, which is easiest to do, is if you don't like, that's fine, but you can share. And the more shares you get, helps the algorithm, helps us to get notarized, help us to get out there, get the message out there. So I would say promote this page, and let people know that RTB is in effect.
All right.
Well, thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well said too.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming back. So we're. I mean,
I was trying to get a haircut today, but my barber's gone. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got to cut my hair myself today.
Oh,
your hair looks great, brother.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting older, as Evangelist Colette said, and so Al, I might be looking like you pretty soon. You know, I might have to cut all off and do the. I don't know. It's getting kind of thin on top.
Man.
I used to mess with my father and say his sunroof was down.
You know?
Oh man.
I'm telling you, age is
got a
not
long
a
ways
bad
to go,
thing.
brother.
It's not a bad thing, though. It's a blessing because a lot of people aren't blessed to see that age because that really is an old age.
Wow, that's scary.
Oh, come on.
But on the more serious note, we're thankful that you came back, and thank you for all that you've done. I mean, honestly, I can't even imagine where I would be with my vision if it had not been for you, for real. And that's on complete realness. So I appreciate everything.
I appreciate you sharing it with me. You know, that's part of the thing too. You know, being in a safe place to be able to share it with someone. That's often not hard. That's often hard to find, and I just appreciate you finding a safe place to share it. And we were able to, catapult it and get it started and going. You know, the work I did just part of the work. The visionary and the vision and the motivation and the energy behind it is really you and your husband. So I salute you all for making it 2 years. So hats off to you all and doing what you all do.
Thank you.
Well, we wouldn't have been able to do this without you, my brother. And people need to know you are very, very, very great asset.
And very talented. And he's just, I don't think he gave me all the information, but if he's a graphic designer, I mean, he can do it all.
Absolutely.
And he's a musician. You didn't put that on there either. You're a musician. Isn't that weird? Right? I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't put musician, but he is a phenomenal musician. And you'll see more of his work. As we grow, you'll see more of James' work. I said his work, not James' work.
So whatever that is.
Not the physical person, but his work.
So thank you again, brother, for everything you've done to get us started.
Yes.
We certainly appreciate you.
Yes, we do. And Mom loved you. We do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care, James. All right.
All right, y'all take care.
James, can you do one more thing? Take a before and after picture. Before you cut your hair now.
Bye.
Oh, she always doing it, y'all.
Because I already know that hair gonna be jacked up. Especially if he doesn't cut his hair. I'm just okay.
Excuse me.
We're gonna get back serious. But that's just who I am. I'm gonna laugh. That's funny. Okay, so we found out who was behind the scenes with the logo. And it was a surprise because I got it for a Christmas present. Oh my God, I was not even aware that Al was behind the scenes working with my best friend. Was it Sharon? My best friend and Mario to get this logo. And I'm like, oh my God. I was really surprised.
I wish we had that.
We did. Oh, if I would have thought of that, I would have made sure that we was able to play that. But I was just like, what in the world? James said, wow. Sorry, Jay. You already know. I ain't even gonna apologize because I know I'm gonna say something else. So just
something else, y'all, when it comes out.
But James is something else too. So okay. So I opened it up Christmas Day. Was so surprised. I may find that it's on the RTB platform and just show it because it was so awesome. It really was. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
All right. Who created the graphics for the show. You guys like what you're seeing now? Who created the graphics on the show? I wonder who was that. Who you think created the graphics on the show? That's the slides and stuff.
The slides.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me.
Who created it? Yours truly.
Okay.
Yours truly. Not the logo, the slide, the graphics. Yours truly created it.
Not me, but
Go to the next one, please.
To the next one.
Colette Allen created the graphics for the show. Okay? So the graphics of the show. Yours truly. That is I. Okay, so I guess this is all about me being an educator. And because I've been to school 101 million times, we always had to do graphics and we had to really be up on technology, which I'm not. That was my weakness. But so I was like, I wanted our show to be different than other shows.
Okay.
And I said, some people are really good listeners, but a lot of people are visual people. So I was like, I think that yes, we're talking, but it's so nice to see stuff.
Right.
And so that would grab the listener, the viewers' attention when you actually see it. So I myself came up with the graphics of the show. Okay, and another thing I did not realize is I sing a lot.
Yes.
Now I just did that little.
Sing to me.
I know, but it's just I don't know what that is. But I was really. I thought that was really good. So since we're moving on, how did Mr. Allen, aka Al, join the show? Well, James already gave you guys that information, but we're going to talk about it. First of all, let's talk about who is Mr. Allen.
Oh, that's me.
Mr. Allen, he's the co-host / host of RTB. He's born and raised in Wisconsin. Son of Robert and Julia May Allen. And he's married to Mrs. Allen. And so on and so on. I didn't know if you want people to know all your business, but I just said so on. You're the daughter. So. That's who Mr. Allen is. He is my husband of almost 22 years.
And you're my wonderful wife.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetie.
Love you.
And I'm telling you, as I know you all probably would have never guessed that I am the talker in the marriage. And Al is normally, he listens well, but he talks too a lot. People just don't know that. I'm more talking inside the marriage and also outside.
And
I talk
she
a lot.
don't know that I made some tea for her and she should take a sip of it.
Yes. Tea. Okay, I will. But I talk a lot, and I knew that it would take a lot for me to even ask Al, can you just come and be on the show with me?
Oh.
Didn't I ask before though?
Yes, you did, and I was vehemently against it. I just wouldn't do it. I said, nope, I don't want none of that poison. This is you. What do you want to start a show for anyway?
I don't even understand why he always thinks that goals and aspirations and gifts and stuff is just me. Like God didn't shortchange him. He didn't say, Colette, you get all the gifts and now we'll give you a rock. You know, like Charlie Brown, everybody got candy, but what did you get, Charlie? I got a rock. No, God is not that type of God where he does that. So I'm like, if God gives you a gift, he gives it to you too.
And needless to say, I had another thing coming.
So look what happened. We were stuck in a storm and I'm like, I've been really promoting the show. I got to go on. Al, you're going to have to help me because I couldn't get home. And that's how he came on.
And I was actually sitting in the passenger seat too when we were driving. Yeah.
No, you were not.
Was I?
Whoa, no. How was I starting the show driving? You were in the driver's seat and I was in the passenger seat.
Okay, but it rained so bad.
It was raining so bad
that we had to pull over.
Right.
It was not just horrible. Us. There was quite a few cars. I mean, it was
really, really bad. So
I thought maybe a tornado or something was on its way.
Yeah, I was hoping that you guys didn't have to witness the tornado that was coming. That's how bad it was. But Al, he came on board. The next following week, I was like, Lord, please let him continue.
So
did somebody talk to you? I think James said, "Oh, that was really good that you were on there. You guys have such a connection."
I said, "Well, you know what? I think I'll help her out again because she's really needing my help. You know, want me to be there by her side." So I did another week. And shortly after that, we came up with like a husband-wife thing.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Oh my God. Okay. Did I tell you about myself? Okay. I am an educator, a leader, motivational speaker, mentor. Can you go? Don't do that. Mentor, playwright, author, and a performer.
And a very good one.
A performer, as you all can see. I sing real good backup, but I'm not a lead singer. Okay, I'm sure y'all know that. But I can harmonize. I can do that. But I'm not an out front singer. What?
You're my private singer. You sing when I want to.
I'm not an out front singer, okay, guys, but I can do. So oh Lord, okay. So the thing is, it works. It works, you know. So,
but you do have a beautiful voice.
That's what you say, but I'm not gonna trust that out in the public. You know, I did sing in a couple of shows. I did sing Aretha Franklin song in one of the shows. You know, I was like, you know, I had the C note and everything. You know what I'm saying? That was many years ago, though. Don't you trust? Don't you look for that film? Don't do it. Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, that's my background about myself. So how did Mr. Allen? That's how Mr. Allen got on the show. It was a rainstorm. He had to bail me out, and ever since that day, he was on the show. So when you guys see Restoring the Brokenness with Colette Allen, it was originally a Colette Allen show, but now that Mr. Allen's a part, we have to redo that whole. And I hope James is looking at which is our graphic designer, is looking at and listen to what I'm saying, because we're gonna have to redo that so we can have Colette and Alfred. Do you want Alfred or do you want an Al?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll get it together. So you all don't be thinking I'm trying to take all the shine, because I'm really not. We're together on this. Okay, so the vision of the show. The vision. Let's talk about the vision of the show. The vision of the show is to reach the broken. Change. I want it to be a life-changing experience. There may be some people that's going through some things that just feel like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And something that they may hear from this show may change their mind about life. A call for change. Life-changing. I don't want to do something bad to myself. I really want to live. A call for change, changing yourself. When I say a call for change, like as a person of trying to find a balance in your life, it causes you to change. You have to change. If you want things to change, you have to change, and everything around you will change. I really want the show to be a place where people can feel like that I can be healed. It's a healing process, and definitely transparency. I think transparency is the number one. You can't heal anyone. You can't encourage anyone. You can't minister to anyone if you're not going to be honest. And that's something that you don't see a lot of. A lot of times is growing up in the church, around church people, you always think it's you. You always think that your challenges is that you're solo on that challenge. Like, oh my God, I must be the only one struggling. But when you hear someone else that's struggling like you, it does make you feel like there's nothing wrong with you, that you're not in this alone.
That's right. And you know, the likelihood is that someone is always going through some sort of change simply because of God's desired relationship that he wants to have with us. And those are some of the reasons why we go through change, is because God is trying to draw us closer to him and strengthen the relationship that he has with us. But then besides all of that, life happens as well. You know, people go, children are born, you know, you have the normal things that happen with life. We lose loved ones. We get married, we have children, you know, those things that happen. But all with all the changes in our lives, it's because of God. And sometimes, but so it is so good if you are in His plan. So when you're in His plan and flowing with the plan that God has for you, it's an easier yoke. It's a better. The ride isn't so hard because when things happen, God's got us. God's got us. God got us. God has us in His plan. So it's better to know that you're in His plan rather than going through life and trying to feel your way through and don't have that plan. That insurance plan set up.
Right. Wow. Okay. So that is the purpose of the show, the vision of the show. And it's always I'm not sure if it's going to change much, because that's why it's restoring the brokenness, because people are there's always going to be situations that's going to break you or change you or challenge you, your beliefs and all that stuff that happens.
Right.
And it's just nice to be able to go to a platform and really find some hope in that. Okay. Now let's talk about what some of RTB's
best topics that results in the highest
views. Like James is saying, because we're able to see what topics that people really, really enjoy watching based on the views. Number one, hands down, Black Men Matter.
That was a good show.
That was like the number one. Like a lot of people really chimed in on that.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, we were going through within our society, we were going through a lot of changes as well. As a matter of fact, we had the one young man that had recently been choked and killed by police in Minnesota. And so there was a lot of things on the hearts of not just Black Americans, but white Americans too. And not only just white and Black Americans, but all over the world. It just seemed to spark even problems that was going on in Europe in different places.
Wow.
And India.
It was a lot. Places. It brought awareness. So that show, I mean, of course our guests also, I'm sure they have followers, but we had a lot of views. A lot of people really responded to that show. It was a good outcome. Okay, it came in second place.
Being a Black woman in America.
Oh, you better talk about it. Yes. That show, I think we had to continue because we ran out of time.
Absolutely. We did continue.
Those ladies were phenomenal.
Oh, man.
Brittany and Pamela, phenomenal.
Yes.
The other gentlemen, like Timothy on the other Black Men Matter, like Timothy Ferguson, Mario Dickens, Jesse Moore Jr. Yes. Alfred was on the show too.
Yes.
Is that? I think those
Alfred Allen Jr. He was there too.
I mean, it was just those shows and the people our guests they came with followers, so that really hyped the numbers up.
Yes.
Great show.
Not only did they come with followers, they came with substance.
Yes. A lot of emotions in both shows. It was very emotional because they also watched the movie. That little snippet. Oh my God. Two Strangers Meet or something like that. You can go back on the RTB platform and you can actually watch the show because it's still there.
Because the show had a lot to do with the program as well, because everyone was supposed to watch the show and give their own interpretation of how they felt about their own personal experience.
Yes.
And it was just so dramatic how everyone had a different experience of what they experienced. And now that they have children, how they even make have their children be aware of, unfortunately, this is systemic racism that is in our society and how to be careful when you're being stopped by an officer.
Right. So it just brought awareness.
Because no matter which way it went, this young man, every different type of way he could imagine how he
even when he didn't leave the house, they came in and killed him.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yes. It was a good show.
But all the circumstances that this young man went through have literally actually taken place in our society. Every which way this man died is actually a circumstance that they print out at the end of the show
that actually happened.
Give them the person name. This person died.
Right.
This person's in their home, minding their own business,
and then they were killed.
Police broke in and shot them.
Or going to the store or selling cigarettes. I mean, it was really good.
Or even just telling the police, "Hey, what do I have to do?"
Distant Strangers. So that was a really good. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, but it was back then. The third topic, the third number that came in third place was Love and Marriage. Love and Marriage. That was, that show was popping. That was with Lady K and PD.
Yes.
Was those the only two couples that came on the show?
They were.
Yes. Really good show.
We just had a beautiful
because they came back a couple of times because we had like segments. It was good. Good job. Good job.
Shout out to Lady K and PD.
I'm telling you, that was good. Okay, next one. Of course, Hot Topics came in for. Actually, I thought Hot Topics would come in probably second place, but okay, it came in fourth place. But
how did?
I don't know.
How topics start?
How did it start?
Yes. That wasn't at the very beginning of our shows.
I think because a lot of things was happening. I don't know how it started.
I think we started to run out of ideas, but then we wanted to include a conglomerate topics, more than one topics into one show. We wanted to bring about several topics. So then we came up with Hot Topics.
Right, because we didn't want it to just be a whole show of
just one single thing.
Yeah, we want to talk about this snippet of this, that's, and we're like, we'll make it a hot topic. So all of them was Hot Topics. And that was really my best. Well, I don't want to say that was my Yeah, it was my idea, but I'm just saying I don't want to say, but everyone know because I make it known that I really love Hot Topics. But I also enjoy bringing guests to the show and hearing their story or what they like to share too. So I don't really want to say that that's just the only show I would prefer doing. Yeah. I love when guests come to the show.
Yeah. Oh, so do I.
I love it. I love that interaction. Certain guests, come to the show.
James, I think leave my brother alone.
We gonna move on. I didn't say James. I just said certain guests come to the show. Okay, last, and I'm surprised that it came in fifth place. Dementia. Dementia it hits home. Everyone knows. I mean, if you watch the show, you would know that dementia. My mom has advanced dementia, and James also mentioned that his dad as well. It was a lot. We had. It was a very informative show. Mm-hmm. In fact, we did a couple of them because your brother came on.
Yes.
Maurice came on and shared as a nurse his perspective of what he knew.
And it's AKA called The Long Goodbye.
Yeah.
And it is most definitely the long goodbye.
It is. It's not only the long goodbye, it is the most devastating.
Yes, it is.
Traumatized experience.
Yes, it is.
If you hang around, you already know how I am. Very vocal. It makes you want to walk away, but it's so devastating you can't. You have to really just allow yourself to process what's happening, but it's so heartbreaking to see your loved one go through that. It's really sad, So I learned a lot from it, and it helped me through my journey with my mom. We're still on this journey, and I understand the journey is not going to be easy. It's not going to reverse itself unless God heals her. I know what the end is, and that is, like Al said, the long goodbyes, because you're saying goodbye. What do you mean by that anyway? What?
It's the loved one's really not there anymore.
I wouldn't say that.
And you're well, what you
be clear, because that's what a lot of people are saying. They're not there anyway. No, that is not accurate information.
Okay.
Please make it clear,
because that's what the person
they're not the
once
person
knew.
that you knew. Thank you. So be clear of that, because they're still there.
And it's taking the person away. This dreadful disease is taking ground, but never giving ground.
Yeah.
And you're telling the loved one, you're showing the loved one how much you love them, because each and every week or month you see the decline. So you're loving them as much as you can while they know, and while they are in while their faculties are still there, because eventually they get to a point where they don't know you anymore.
Right. So they're slowly leaving.
Right.
But
right,
they're there.
Right. It's a long. That's why it says a long
Yes.
goodbye.
Okay.
And I would like to say to anyone that's out there that's dealing with that, just coming into the process of knowing that my loved one might have this, you really want to reach out online. You get a lot of information. You get the best information, because
they have support groups.
Support groups are what's going to really get you informed on what you need to do, because you're not going to get that from the people that diagnoses.
I think it's still it's a disease that everyone's still learning. It's I mean, because every case is different. It doesn't happen the same for everyone. And that's why it's so hard to kind of like get a consistent understanding of how it will, because you don't really know how it's going to affect your loved one. It may affect someone else's loved one differently than it affects yours. It's horrible. That's all I can say. And definitely, if you are experiencing that, or you think that your loved one is going through that, you please get support. You should not go through this alone, because you're going to need support. You're going to need support. You're going to need support. So just know that. Okay. So dementia was it came in 5th place. We did. I think we had a total. I'm not really sure the number of shows we've done. I didn't really count all those shows, but we've been doing it for 2 years, and so we've made some progress.
2 years, quick.
2 years. 2 years is coming up in August. We're not there yet. We're almost there. Okay, so we're coming to a close.
All right.
And I just want to remind you all about to please check out my business website. It's called One Stage at a Time. One Stage at a Time. It is a therapy service. We offer services to children that requires early intervention in physical, intellectual, learning, language, behavior, social, and emotional development. We use evidence-based practices to support parents by providing services, resources, and that can improve their child's performance and assist children reaching each developmental milestone. Do not forget to share that information. I mean, there are children out there that will require interventions before they enter school. And also, I also want to add that if you have a child that has behavior concerns, you can also reach out. And that's for children that's not even, they may be in school and they may just need more of the, maybe developing a plan for you to help you deal with the behavior at home. Sometimes parents need that additional support that the schools may not be able to provide outside of the outside of school.
Right.
But we're there to also support the parents. If you need an advocate at some of those IEP meetings, if your child's in IEP, I definitely am available to provide that. But we're here. I just want to remind you all that you can check out the link. You can schedule a free consultation and we can have a conversation. Okay.
Beautiful.
So remember to stay tuned for what's to come for the RTB platform. Show. I'm like looking at him like, hello, the RTB show. So, Mr. Allen, you have your harmonica again?
Yes.
You ready to click? What is going on? Okay, so guys, listen, I enjoyed this show. I hope that if you're watching this show after we air, still comment, just like it, make your comments. We read all the comments, okay? So, special thanks to all our viewers, followers, and supporters of Restoring the Brokenness group. Special thanks to our technician and also to Pastor James Buford for coming on and being a part of the show today. Please remember to like and share our page. Please follow us on Restoring the Brokenness on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Twitter at RT Brokenness. You also can view us on YouTube. Also, you can email us at restoringthebrokenness@gmail.com. And remember, be whole, be healed, and be at peace. Until next time.